God is giving you. Giving you. God gives you. And notice what's going on there. You shall go to the priest, who was in the office at the time, and say to him, today I declare to the Lord your God, I've come into the land that the Lord swore to our generations to give us. And when the priest takes the basket from your hand, sets it down before the altar of the Lord your God, then basically you're going to give thanks. And notice that you're called to do this by taking some of the first fruit of all the fruit of the ground, which you harvest from the land that the Lord your God is giving you. And that's what you place in the basket. That's what you bring. That's what we're talking about when we say bring it. First fruits giving. It's not only mentioned here, it is mentioned in such places as Exodus a couple of times, Numbers, Deuteronomy again, Proverbs, Nehemiah, Jeremiah, where Israel is metaphorically to be holy to the Lord, the first fruit of the Lord's harvest. In Romans and 1 Corinthians, Christ's resurrection is the first fruits of those who have died, and James. Today, it's about first fruits. And yes, that means stewardship, because that's one of the most talked about topics in the Bible. In the Old Testament and the New Testament, it's about bringing it. Now, we began with this section with the offering of first fruits. It was part of a system of tithes and offering, which the people of Israel were to bring in thanksgiving to God. Not to show off, not to say, well, this is what must be done because we think so. No. In thanksgiving to God, coming together. And it wasn't just about bringing their offering of their first fruits, what they had gotten from the land, what they had gotten as far as from their livestock, and however they made their living. Notice it was also about coming together. And when they came together, they celebrated with meals. And they shared with each other the bounty that God had given them. Bounty, hatav in Hebrew, literally the good thing. When we give thanks to God, when we bring it, we bring the good thing. The Levites, as Levitical priests and others, rely on these offerings for their very sustenance, in part because they were not given land like the other tribes. But then notice who else is needed when we bring it. Who is actually in need? The resident aliens, the widows, and the orphans. Otherwise, they would be among the starving, the destitute of the land. That is why we bring it. That's why we bring ourselves, first and foremost, give thanks to God. But that's why we bring our treasures. We bring it for those others. And that's what we do right here. Some of what we bring stays here, but more than we realize goes out to help all those in need. We bring it. So first fruits isn't about some sort of system where you feel like, oh, we have to bring it today because it's a Thanksgiving service. No, first fruits was actually created for our benefit. You see, without this kind of message from God, it is so easy for us to forget to keep God first in our lives. So this idea of bring it, way back in Old Testament times, was to teach us how to keep God first in our lives and how to be unselfish people. To recognize we are gifted in abundance. We have more than we realize when it comes to our time to give back to God, to our talents to give back to God, in working for the Lord, both here when we gather and when we go out into the community, as well as with our treasures as well. Note that the one presenting an offering is commanded to celebrate. To celebrate with all those that are going to receive these wonderful gifts. It's not that we come to God and grudgingly bring it. But we bring our bounty. And by definition, remember, bounty implies that needs have been more than met. And it is from this abundance that remains in our lives that generosity and celebration flow, and why we bring it. We give from our abundance, no matter how small or no matter how large it appears in relation to what others have in this world. For today, you have brought yourself. That's the very first step in bringing it. Because you are a gift from God. The very fact that you're alive this day is a gift from God. So today, we bring it. We bring our whole selves. We bring our time, we bring our talents, we bring our treasures to give thanks to God, because everything we have comes from God. So today, we bring our first fruits. We bring it to God. Thanks be to God.